last interview. Before I ask you that question, we're going to go back to one of the first questions I asked you for the first interview. I asked you, what do you expect to get out of this drive? This question today will be, what did you get out of this drive?
Well, for one thing, I was blessed to just be able to hang with all these real cowboys. Now, this is a group of tough cowboys, and I got to see their softer side, the side most people don't get to see, and that is a blessing. But also, my idea was if I could leave here with a better horse, I might be a better man. And I took that horse 20, 30 miles, whatever it was. When I got down there, he was just so good and sound. I feel like I accomplished something there. And so maybe I'll leave a better man, but I'm definitely leaving with a better group of men that I think opened up to each other. I do think that what I get out of this is going to be it's changing my life. So I can't change anybody else's life until I change my own, and I'm able to do that. And I think I've got the tools to do that, I should say, now. So going forward, I think I can change things in my life to where maybe I can encourage somebody else to change things in their life. And I guess that's my main thing that I feel like I'm getting out. Plus just leaving here with a whole bunch of new real friends. Yes, sir. That I feel blessed for.
Well, before I let you go, I know my dad read those letters today that your wife sent, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it anymore. Let her know how you felt about them, how thankful you might have been for them, and take your time.
She couldn't have done anything any better. I think she has a better relationship. I think she had maybe a closer relationship with God than I did. And he told her. Maybe. I don't know. She had the right words to say.
I mean, every one of those letters for every day were specifically what we went through that day, and it couldn't have been more of a God.
She did not know what day we were driving them cattle. And she didn't know what day it was going to, obviously, sleet, wind blow, be miserable. And her prayer fit every day to the T. So I don't know how she did it, but she had the right words to say for me anyway.
God knew you needed those words, didn't he?
Yep.
Well, I was very fortunate to be a part of that. That was a wonderful thing. So I thank your wife too, and I'm sure all these other men do too.
Yeah, I've got a lot of comments on that. She couldn't have done anything better.
What a sweet surprise.
I'm very proud of her.
Yes, sir. Well, we're so glad to have you on this drive. I'm glad you got a good experience out of it.
I'm honored to be on this drive. I mean, like Joe said, he didn't pick us. We all went up and signed that board. And it's hard to put into words the way everything's gone. Like even when I thought about dropping out and just taking an easier route. And then I talked to my sister a little bit about that. And I told her, you know, I can go to Oklahoma to this big ranch up there and I can work with this horse there. And it might be a little easier step for him than going straight up to the mountains. And she was worried about me she's seen that horse act up. She was worried about him throwing me off the side of the mountain or something. And she thought I should pick a safer thing to do. I mean, she didn't know which way I should go, but she was kind of worried about me. And so I told her, well, I might talk to Joe tomorrow. I don't know. This was on Saturday. And then that Sunday, his sermon was saying, if if you're chosen to do something and God asks you to do something, you know, I don't care if there's 25 guys going, you can justify to yourself that you're not needed there because there's 25 guys going or whatever. God asks you to go, you go. You don't back out. My sister looked over at me and said, "Did you say something to him?" I said, "No, I didn't say a word to him." And then after church, she said, "So, what are you going to do?" I said, "I guess I'm going to go." I mean, there ain't no question now. So here I am, and I can't express how happy I am that I didn't back out.
There's so much. Just learning to trust one another as your brothers in Christ to on the chuck wagon cruise. You know they got your back. Again, getting to know people that your brothers in Christ are. Just getting to know them better. You know, a lot of times at church you don't get to know people as well because you just see them at church. They do their thing when they leave, but that's been a big part. You know, we got good men in this camp, you know. The fire's still burning.
You know, I think I've learned a lot of patience, I think, more than anything. And I've learned a lot about more about the ability to listen to people. And just visiting with some of the guys here and you know, learning about them, it's really been a heart-touching deal, you know, to just to get to visit with them and find out things about them and you know, even share things about yourself with them. I've just really, to me, I feel even stronger and closer to the Lord than I did here. And you know, I strive every day of my life to live a good life, but I'm like everybody else. I make mistakes, but I really see. I think this has opened my eyes a lot about, you know, what I do, and how I can change to be better at it. So I guess, you know, just really the overall experience of being with everybody and a lot of different walks of life, you know, and just the fellowship is just, it's really, I think it's lifted me and opened my eyes about a lot of things in life.
Would you recommend this to anybody?
Everybody.
If you have a good relationship with God, it's a chance to get even closer, and if you don't have that relationship, well, then it's an even greater chance to get closer. Like, you know, some trips will only hit certain people. I think anybody could take something good from this trip, no matter who you are, what your walk of life is, even if you've never seen a horse in your life. You know, it's horses and cattle drawing you in, but you gotta see the bigger picture and know why you're really here. So I think anybody could get something, not even good, something great out of it. Willing to come and do it.
I found a new fellowship. I mean, this church has always been what I've been going to since I moved to Texas. And even before, even when I was in Oklahoma, when I'd come down on Sunday or the weekends to visit my mom, I'd go to church with her. But being here with 21 men, well, 20 not counting me, but being able to talk to people and learn from them and ask questions and talk to, you know, we got lay pastors and everybody up here, talk to them and reminisce about things, learn things. about people that you never thought you'd even learn something about. I found a sense of belonging, and I also learned things that'll make me a better person, be a better father, husband, everything. It's been good. And now I know that if I have a question, there's 20 other men I can call and get help. But I want to be a part of the ministry and help other people. Because if there's something I can do to help, I want to do that. I learned a lot up here between just being able to talk to God, my horse, people, scenery. There's no better place.
No better place. No better place. Yes.
Learned a lot about me and what I need to change. And Joe gave us a challenge. And that very next day, I went to the bottom of the draw, stopped my horse, held my hands up in the sky and said, Lord, here I am. Whatever you want to do. Use me, and I'm going to stay with that. And it's just changed me. So.
That's the biggest thing I've gotten out of this is just being in the mountains always made me feel like you're closer to God. I mean, I know that's kind of ignorant because God's everywhere. But it's just, I mean, when you're out here at night and you look up and the stars, look, you know, they're just like you can reach up and touch them. And this church, the ministry of the Cowboy Church, your dad, just feel like it's a place where God put me. And through our men's, we have had a men's meeting deal that I used to attend, the Iron Sharpens Iron at Bowie. And most of the time we spend our lives complaining, you know, thinking about all the things we don't have, instead of just appreciating what God's given us every day. And just through that and this, I just try to live every day, looking at everything that God does for me every day and being thankful. Instead of just griping and complaining about what I don't have or think I should have. And God bless me. He's blessed me way more than I deserve. I've got a great wife. I've got great kids. I've got a place where I'm able to raise cattle, something I've always wanted to do my whole life. And then just to top it off, coming up here and getting to do something that I've dreamed about doing as a kid. And honestly, I hope anybody that comes up here with us on this deal gets as much out of it as I have. Because it's just, I mean, you can't look around up here and not be thankful. I mean, we had a rough first couple of the drive was long. First couple of days were kind of rough because of the weather, but man, God turned around and blessed us like you would believe these last 3 days. I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather to gather cattle, better weather to drive them. And I mean, just coming out of them trees and down off that mountain and looking down there and just seeing all the cows. And I mean, I don't know how many miles that was, but when they were, you could see them for miles, and then they were around the bend and disappeared. I mean, it was just more than it was just more of an experience and more of a blessing than I ever thought it would be. And I just think it's, you know, people that have this born in their blood, that want to do something like this, and be up here with a bunch of guys that love the Lord and just experience what He's given us and what He's blessed us with. You couldn't ask for anything any better.
I got exactly what I was expecting. You know, and I think God threw a few wrenches in my way, you know, and not that he was trying to cause troubles, but I think he allowed a few things to happen that put me in a position where I had to talk to them guys, and we were in camp, and I got to know them, and I've got about 20 new buddies. That's what I wanted. That was one of my goals. And I know this is, they talk about the guys we're going to be bringing up here, you know, years after and whatnot, but this trip I felt like I was one of them guys a little bit, you know, I was needing some help myself. So, I'm kind of rejuvenated. I'm ready to get to the house and get started on next year. I really, I owe your dad a bunch, you know, as far as feeling this and then taking it to that next step and allowing us to kind of all come together and you know, because I know he was saying he was having his doubts and whatnot. And I think this whole bunch, I've talked to more than just one or two that has, through the process, including myself, had a moment or two of doubt, you know, and all that is Satan don't want us here. He don't want anything good. And we just had to back up a step and say, hey, well, you know, you got to get off me, because this is what we're going to do, no matter what. Any obstacle. And he's blessed us even when we haven't asked it. And that's been the biggest thing. You know, we just sit around. It's like the solar panels. When we were up here that Monday and Tuesday, you know, that was just a conversation. That wasn't anything that we were like, hey, we got to have this. We need to start praying about this. This is something that we were just talking, you know, of how much simpler it'd make on these guys that are hard of hearing and whatnot, with the phones and stuff, to kind of not be standing in line, you know, and then the next thing you know, we got a whole box full sitting on the side of the road. There's something to be said for that. There really is. Let's say. So, I'm not going to say I'm going to be able to make it every year, but I'm going to sure try to plan my year around this, for certain. So, try to make my best to make it happen, you know. Sometimes life will throw a few things at us that we just flat have to tend to, you know, but if I can make this happen, I'm sure going to be here, without a doubt.
Well, we'd be more than glad to have you with us.
Absolutely.
And I know my dad has been, felt that same way with you too, and how much you've just been a big major help and impact on this deal.
Well, I told your dad a long time ago, he probably don't even remember it, but we were going to be good buddies before it was all was well. And we're getting closer and closer. I'm going to let y'all have it today.
And I've seen common men grow closer to the Lord this week with an excitement, you know, like, this is something I can do. You know, sometimes you find yourself sitting on the sideline thinking, okay, where do I fit in this ministry? Where, you know, with who I am and what I know or what I do, or you know, what's my, how would you say it? Purpose, way of life, you know, my customs. Let's just say, hey, I am a cowboy in a Baptist church. You know, what good am I? What can I do? To, you know, I'm a little more, I guess you say, simple as these other folks. But anyway, I see these guys come in, and all of a sudden they find opportunities like, hey, I can do this, and I can serve God, and I can be a part of changing people's lives, whether it's cooking food or playing music during our tent meetings or keeping firewood stacked up.
thing is so important. And man, to see these guys step up and feel like they've accomplished something, like they did something that was a meaning, was a purpose, and it's going to last forever. That's watching them grow in just a week. That's been magnificent. And then wanting more. You know, that they're already planning next year and all the extra things we're going to add and the things we're going to do, and that excites me. And it makes me feel like I'm doing what God called me to do as a pastor, helping men grow and find their purpose. And we found it this week on the hill. So I'm happy. I'm complete. I will say this. It's been the most spiritual moving thing for me. Just like I said the other night, man, I'm trying to plan all these sermons and stuff, and you know, each tent meeting have something, you know, and then have it all tied in together at the end, and you know, you think it's going to be this big, great something, and for whatever reason, God would never let me put anything together. Every time I sat down and said, all right, first day's going to be this, I just scatterbrained. So I just said, okay, fine, whatever. When I'll get there, I hope you can figure it out. And man, every meeting just lined up. God, I mean, with Dale getting up, Bryce getting up, I mean, everything. And I'm like, who am I? You know, we got a God that already knows what needs to be said, what everybody's needing to hear, experience. I'm just a guy doing the same thing, and he knew what I needed to hear and what I needed to experience to get me back on track. So I think all of us got a movement from God to check us a little bit and say, hey, this is what I want you to do, and this is where I need you to go, and this is how I need you to do it. And so the ministry part of it, man, it was absolutely fantastic to see how God just put it all together. It wasn't Joe put it together. It was God, and it was awesome. And I got to experience that again. I mean, that's not the first time God's done that with me, but I should have known in the beginning, rather than stress from it, that he's going to handle it. I just got to do what he tells me to do and make sure I get prayed up before each meeting, and he just delivers. So it was good. I think we're all going to walk out of here a new man and be looking forward to next year. Now, I've been coming up here, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, I'd have to go back and figure it, years, helping these folks gather the cattle out of the mountains. And there's just been a few of us, a couple guys from home come up here, and it was great. Just good old man's trip, come out here, gather cattle, have a great time. But I've always been a spiritual being, and when I come up here, it just resets me. It recalibrates me. And every time I come up here, I'm like, man, I wish more men could experience what I experience on this mountain. And so I've always wanted to bring men up here, but I thought, man, who's going to want to do all this work, you know, and travel all the way up here? And I kept putting it off, and God kept saying, hey, this is a good idea. You need to reach out, because there's men out there that need this. And I kept putting it off due to the logistics of the whole thing. And then finally, I'm just, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I made an announcement at church one day, what God had put in my heart about this drive. And so I gave him the analogy of this, the drive. Now, the cattle up here in these mountains, if they stay here and the first snow hits, they're done. They're going to freeze to death. They're going to die. So we know that. So we have got to get the cattle. We got to relocate them. In order to do that, we got to gather them all up, and then we got to drive them that 20 miles or whatever it is all the way to the shipping pens down there by the highway. Drive them all the way down there, 1,000 head of cattle, boy, strung out 2 miles, and just drive them down and get down to those pens. And that's that first safe place. When they get in those pens, it's like that moment where you say, all right, God, I'm yours. I'm in the shipping pens, I'm yours. What do you want me to do? Then he loads you up and he starts taking you on that journey, his whole purpose and plan for you. So the drive for the men is to bring the men up here to help relocate them from that bad spot that they're in their lives, that desolate spot, that spot that's going to wind up killing them. The Bible tells us that sin leads to death. but righteousness leads to the kingdom of heaven. So those that are living and not even knowing that they're destined for death, but we know that they are. So we're going to help get them. Then we're going to take them on this journey while we're up here on the mountain. We're calling that the drive. We're driving them spiritually to those shipping pens. And when they get home, they're going to be in those pens. And it's time that they step out and start doing what the Lord's called them to do. So that's what this whole thing's designed for. Bring men away from the world, because you ain't going to be anywhere close to anything out here. Get them out here, help them find themselves, find their purpose, help them to be better husbands, better fathers, better friends, and not only that, but better men of God. That's the whole purpose of the drive. And I figured if the Lord can do it for me, worthless old me, he can do it for any man on this planet. So these guys, man, just sacrificing their week from their homes, family, jobs, and everything to come up here to be a part of that, it's going to be an awesome turnaround for a lot of men that choose to come up here and be a part of it. We're going to try to, next year, we're going to try to pick 10 guys that can come up. Now, that's just our plan. Now, if God says 20, we're going to do 20. Because he'll come up with the resources. But we want to start with 10 and take 10 men on this drive. A spiritual drive. Of course, they're going to get the cowboy too. There's a little incentive there. You're going to have a good time, but it's more on them. So we'll get them up here and, man, it's going to be good.
Big sky, open rain. Oh, how quick life can change. Saddlebags, bits and spurs. Live life slow so it's not a blur. Help a neighbor, don't duck and hide. Make a difference on your next ride. Make the most of every day. Don't let the devil get in your way. Ride hard for the brand. Do for Jesus all you can. Spur on, Lord. Read the word and trust the Lord.
Come with us on the drive. It doesn't matter rain, sleet, snow. We're catching cows, baby. Woo-hoo! Yeehaw!
I got a bunch of pictures. Cool. Chicken fried steak that you are going to die for. And they got mashed potatoes, gravy. I'm telling you, you're going to eat like a pig, man.
You're going to eat like a pig.
I'm going to tell you right now, that Dairy Queen in New Mexico ain't nothing like a Dairy
Look right here. This is before. This will be after. Right there.
Like West Texas Cowpuncher or something. I mean, you've got a whole vibe going here. You got the whole indent in the front. That's the West Texas Punch.
because I've been in a fight and got beat up, but because I do this.
Not because your future brother-in-law gave you the old.
We don't discuss that.
Trying to get them angles.
Tell you, if that mule don't keep it down tonight while I'm trying to sleep, we might have to become mule skinners.
Hey Joe, where did you put those fish tanks, sir?
In the shower. You want me, let me go get it for you.
No, keep on.
They're in the shower of that camper.
All right. Of the
Whoa! Whoa!
Good job, Roddy!
What's he doing?
He jumped that.
Oh, he jumped it? Did you gig him?
I think he did, but I don't know. I think you kind of surprised Murdoch when he jumped it.
Good gravy. You're becoming quite the bronc rider, Rowdy.
I know what I'm doing.
There you go. There you go. Pull that Colt 45 out and wave it around.
It'll go off and I'll shoot my mule.
That's what Galen's friend told us.
Some of the footage.
What'd you say?
Some of the footage we're gonna have them parts are gonna be pretty good.
What did you just say to me?
Let's do it.
Feel free to cross your legs, do whatever. This is casual.
Hey,
Casual. Be
if
yourself.
you need to let one out, just throw in there. We got barking spiders.
There you go.
We'll blame
that
it
was
on
on command. You didn't even hear it, did you?
But I got it.
Oh,
Next question. You can go ahead and answer it whenever you're ready. Okay, next question. Tell me how the drive.
excuse the glove.
Yes, sir.
It's my future brother-in-law.
Dad's interview. Take 2. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Thank you for that interview. Give me a hug.
Yeah, well.
I tell you what, I love you.
I love you, please. Oh, shoot! I love you. Careful on my shoulder. I got a fucking shoulder. Oh, there we go. Oh. 3, 2, 1, brace.
All right, Zach, are you listening?
Yep.
Now, since you've come up here, all you've been doing is beating yourself up.
Okay.
Explaining how you have no worth and you can't do anything right. Blah, blah, blah. You went on and on.
Yeah. Watch the shoulder, please.
We're watching it. But after Dale's tent meeting, when he explained to us the authority and what comes out of our mouth is important, from this moment on, you need to remember that you are a redeemed child of God, sanctified by the blood of Christ. So everything that comes out of your mouth from here on, you need to be telling people how wonderful you are, how great you are. You are an awesome guy, and you are. That is the truth.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to chap you, and we're going to chap that negative talk out of your mouth and feed in some positivity. Put it on him, Rowdy.
Hit him with some positivity.
Positivity.
Yeah!
That's a West Texas slap there. Okay, yeah, now, wow.
One more for
Have no mercy on him.
one more for good measure.
One more for not putting up a fight.
Dang near farted. Casey, yeah, I hope you know I got. Be careful, I could have.
Come here and give us
I put a gas to you guys out.
Our little brothers, we love you, man. Yeah, I'm glad you came with us on this trip.
I am too. I hope y'all got Casey.
I got
I love you. I love you. I love you too. Oh no. I love you. I love you too. Oh no. Be careful of my shoulder. I got